I do not know how they'd be eating a Choco Pie and avoid having it all fall in terms of the crumbs on their homework. It just smells like milk chocolate. It smells really good. I love the fluffy marshmallow that it came with. I think I actually have a clear winner. So I was walking in the supermarket and I see these boxes that are called Choco Pie. And I remember when I went to Asia too, there was a lot of Choco Pie. And I thought they were all from the same brand until I realized there were two types of brands that actually had almost the same type of packaging. So I'm gonna be reviewing these two Choco Pies from two different brands that I didn't know there were different brands of. And it is Orion and also Lotte, both Korean brands. And they look, I mean, I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I think they look almost exactly the same. Maybe just one just says it's happy moments and one just says it's fluffy. So I'm really curious to see if both of them taste exactly the same or if they actually taste different and there's actually one winner amongst these two types of Choco Pies. So doing some research on Choco Pies, a Choco Pie is actually a snack cake of two small round layers of cake with marshmallow filling and a chocolate covering. The term actually originated from the United States and is also now used commonly in South Korea, Japan, and its exports. And many other countries also have used this as a generic term, which is really interesting because it's kind of the same as like Tylenol, for example. And it's a very generic term that Choco Pie is just used to describe that type of pie. It's very similar to like a moon pie and a ding dong. And the variations of the original Choco Pie can go as far back as 1907 in the southern US. So in 1929, the Chattanooga Bakery created the moon pie with marshmallow filling and graham crackers for local miners in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And then in 1973, a member of the R&D team of a Korean confectionery firm visited a hotel in Georgia, US, and actually had a chance to try these chocolate-coated sweets and was really inspired and brought them back to South Korea. He started experimenting with a chocolate biscuit cake, creating the Choco Pie that we know today. So when Choco Pie got released by Orion, it was very well received, and it's really interesting to know that there was some corporate rivalry drama between Choco Pie Orion and Choco Pie Lotte. 6 years later, in 1979, that's when Lotte Confectionery began to sell a similar confection. And interestingly enough, when Lotte Confectionery put out their version of Choco Pie on the market, they chose to spell the prefix slightly different than Orion's Choco Pie to kind of distinguish it a little bit so it's not copying Orion's version. And all the way fast forward to 1999, Orion filed a lawsuit against Lotte for their use of the term Choco Pie, claiming that the name was their intellectual property. However, because of so much time that has passed since the 1970s, the court ruled that Orion was responsible for having allowed its brand name to become a generic kind of trademark similar to like Tylenol, and was considered to be a common noun due to its generic descriptive sense. So Choco Pie is still considered a generic term when describing two types of these cakes covered with chocolate. So today we're going to be reviewing these two brands of, I guess, very similar types of cakes, and we'll see which one tastes the best, or maybe they both taste exactly the same. So let's find out. All right, so we are going to review the Orion Choco Pie first, which is the original since 1974 with marshmallow filling. This looks big, fluffy, and delicious. And when I flip it to the back, the ingredients include wheat flour, sugar, corn syrup, cocoa powder, whole milk powder, some egg, salt, chocolate liqueur, some artificial vanilla flavor, and some other ingredients that I cannot pronounce. All right, let's open it up. It definitely reminds me of those moon pies for sure. It's also similar to like one of those ding dongs and ho-hos. But yeah, it's like a little chocolate covered sandwich. When I smell it, it just smells like milk chocolate. It smells really good. All right, let's try it out and see how it tastes. Yeah, the cakes are not too dry, also not too moist though. So it's almost like you let cakes sit out for like a couple days or so. This is kind of what the texture is kind of like. But overall, it's not too bad. It's pretty good. When you see the inside of it, it has like the two cakes. So it's kind of like a vanilla cake. And then the inside was like a very chewy, creamy marshmallow in the middle. Super fluffy. And the chocolate is actually not too sweet. It's like a nice coating of milk chocolate around it. And it's like just slightly sweet. So it's really good. I like this one. All right, let's try the other one and see if it tastes just like this or it's gonna be a little bit different. I'm really curious to try it out. So in very similar packaging fashion, we have the Lotte Choco Pie with Happy Moments. Again, another enlarged version of what a Choco Pie is. In the back, less graphics. We're all getting into business in terms of just the ingredients. It's about the same type of ingredients that I saw in the other one. So let's just open it up and see how they taste. Oh, I see something different. I see diced peanut and almond powder. Yeah, there's some differences. So most of the ingredients are almost the same, but I do see some diced peanuts and almond powder in here instead of the Orion version, I believe. All right, let's open it up. So it looks almost similar. And again, somebody studying eating choco pie, I do not know how they'd be eating a choco pie and avoid having it all fall in terms of the crumbs on their homework, because I just completely made a mess here. Looks exactly the same. Even the texture on the top looks exactly the same coating and everything. And when I smell it, oh, this one I smell a little bit more of like a chocolate liqueur instead. Yeah, it definitely smells a little bit more like that. Not just like chocolate, but definitely chocolate liqueur. The other ones smell like chocolate chip cookies. So let's try it out and see how it tastes. Again with the mesh. So I actually do taste a bit of the difference. Interesting. I thought I wouldn't taste a difference at all, but immediately the texture is definitely not as fluffy for the marshmallow filling on the Lotte one compared to the Orion one. The Orion one, I was biting into it, I could feel like the fluffy marshmallow, kind of like a s'mores. This one, it's just more like a cream filling with some marshmallow. And then the taste is interesting. I actually do taste a little bit more chocolate liqueur than just chocolate. And it's a little bit on the drier side in terms of the cake itself. And I've had some choco pies where it's pretty moist and some that are pretty dry. So maybe it depends on the batch as well. And then the chocolate itself is a little bit more like a chocolate liqueur than just like pure milk chocolate, and also not as sweet as well. So the winner between this Choco Pie Showdown is the OG version, which is the Orion version. I love the fluffy marshmallow that it came with, less chocolate liqueur taste. The cake was actually a little bit more moist than the other version of it, and I think it just really depends on the batch you get. But in all, these two boxes in comparison, the Orion is definitely the winner. I would give the Orion Choco Pie a NoshFinder rating of 4 out of 5. I would like it a little bit to be a little bit more moist. It's still good, but like a moister cake would be something that I would prefer versus a little bit too dry. The Lotte version, I would give it a NoshFinder rating of 3 out of 5. It's a little bit on the drier side. It's still not too sweet and it's still an enjoyable snack, but it's okay. It's like average in terms of what I think. Thanks for tuning in today as I put two brands, Orion and Lotte, together for a Choco Pie Showdown. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to check me out on the daily, be sure to follow me on Instagram at NoshFinder. And if you want to see any other type of head-to-head showdown type of snacks, leave a comment below and let me know what type of snacks do you want to see. And I will see you all next time on the next NoshFinder.